rich billionaires who don't give a damn about America, and Americans should not be making decisions that put Americans at harm.
We don't have a fourth branch of government called Elon Musk.
Elon Musk may get to be dictator of Tesla, but he doesn't, and he may try to play dictator here in Washington, D.C., but he doesn't get to shut down the Agency for International Development.
This is all a smokescreen, a shell game, in order to turn this government over to a handful of unelected billionaires and corporate interests, and we are not going to let them do that.
A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching us from. This is Awake in Africa, and I'm your host, Bam. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And on our today's episode, we're going to be discussing about something that has been really making a lot of headlines. It's been making waves across the globe, and this is about the shutdown of Usaid, United States Agency for International Development. And as we all know, this was the lead US government agency that was focused on ending extreme global poverty and fostering resilient democratic societies as it was implementing various programs and policies to support development goals worldwide. But I know you're asking yourself as to why such a huge international aid agency is being shut down, and who is the mastermind behind its shutdown. It's someone known as Elon Musk, who is the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, who claimed that US aid problems were beyond repair, and he has pushed for its closure. Actually, it has been closed, but what does this mean for the world, especially for developing countries in Africa, South America, and Asia? Before I break it down for you, kindly, if you're a new person to this channel, make sure that you subscribe. Let us have a community. Let us be a family. If you're a returning subscriber, make sure that you consider giving us a thumbs up and you turn on the notifications. Don't forget to leave a comment and share this video so that we can have this conversation at a greater depth. I'll be back after the videos. Let us watch the videos.
The U.S. Agency for International Development, which is said to help international development and humanitarian aid overseas. But the Trump administration leadership is not buying it and are instead exposing the organization for a colossal waste of taxpayer funds.
Through USAID over the past several years, these are some of the insane priorities that organization has been spending money on. $1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia's workplaces, $70,000 for a production of a DEI musical in Ireland, $47,000 for a transgender opera in Colombia, $32,000 for a transgender comic book in Peru. I don't know about you, but as an American taxpayer, I don't want my dollars going towards this crap, and I know the American people don't either, and that's exactly what Elon Musk has been tasked by President Trump to do, to get the fraud, waste, and abuse out of our federal government. Thank you, guys.
Online commentators were outraged at the waste, saying, "That is beyond insane. How much more are we going to find out? DOGE has only been at this for a few days." Secretary of State Marco Rubio agreed, saying USAID needs to be brought into line.
Something that USAID haven't passed. Well, look, I mean, my frustration with USAID goes back to my time in Congress. It's a completely unresponsive agency. It's supposed to respond to policy directives of the State Department, and it refuses to do so. So the functions of USAID, there are a lot of functions of USAID that are going to continue, that are going to be part of American foreign policy. But it has to be aligned with American foreign policy. I said very clearly during my confirmation hearing that every dollar we spend and every program we fund, will be aligned with the national interest of the United States. And USAID has a history of sort of ignoring that and deciding that there's somehow a global charity separate from the national interest. These are taxpayer dollars. And so I'm very troubled by these reports that they've been unwilling to cooperate with people who are asking simple questions about what does this program do? Who gets the money? Who are our contractors? Who's funded? And that sort of level of insubordination makes it impossible to conduct a sort of mature and serious review that I think foreign aid writ large should have. We were.
And RFK Jr. went even further, claiming USAID was a CIA front.
2014, there are riots it's called the Madon Rebellion in Ukraine, which we're not told that we are financing those riots. The newspapers never told us, our government never told us. USAID, which is a CIA front, put $5 billion into funding those riots. Those riots lead to a coup d'etat against the first democratically elected government of the Ukraine. It was a government that refused to choose sides and to say, we're going to be on the side of the West. So we wanted them out. A month before that government is overthrown, Victoria Nuland, who's the part of the centerpiece of the neocon ideology and who is now a high-level official in the State Department, has a secret call with the U.S. ambassador, which is tape recorded and is now public, which anybody can go and look up, where she is picking the new cabinet for the Ukraine, which is which is a U.S. Western cabinet. So they're picking the new government a month before the old government is overthrown.
Is that democracy when Victoria Nuland picks her government?
Well, that's the point. Is USAID doesn't really do, and the CIA don't do democracy.
The extra scrutiny on USAID has sent Democrats into a spin, with bureaucrats who benefit from the organization, like Chuck Schumer, having a meltdown.
We also know this is just the beginning. If DOGE attacks USAID today, then you can be sure they'll move on to another target tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe it'll be the Postal Service or the IRS or even the Social Security Administration. They could be next. Or maybe our national security agencies.
Another Democrat politician had a meltdown about the cuts outside USAID HQ, ranting about Elon Musk's power in the new administration.
Elon Musk, you didn't create USAID. The United States Congress did for the American people. And just like Elon Musk did not create USAID, he doesn't have the power to destroy it. And who's going to stop him? We are. We're going to stop him. Elon Musk, you may have illegally seized power over the financial payment systems of the United States Department of Treasury, but you don't control the money of the American people. The United States Congress does that under Article 1 of the Constitution. Yes. And just like the president who is elected to something cannot impound the money of the people, we don't have a fourth branch of government called Elon Musk. And that's going to become real clear.
Musk then clapped back, saying, the corrupt politicians protesting outside the USAID building are the ones getting money from USAID. That's why they're there. They want your stolen tax dollars. Another Democrat representative went on a rant outside the HQ as well.
It is really, really a sad day in America. We are witnessing a constitutional crisis. We talked about Trump wanting to be a dictator on day one, and here we are. This is what the beginning of dictatorship looks like.
Her potential motive was later exposed by eagle-eyed commentators on X. This commentator said, now it makes sense why Ilhan Omar is so upset that Trump is pausing USAID funds. The country she's representing in Congress received over $2 billion from the US since...
Right, hello good people, welcome back to the channel. This is A Week in Africa and I'm your host Bemo. So I'd like to say this, allow me to say this. USAID has been a major player in global aid for decades. Like for instance, countries in Africa, for the past 60 years, it has been very vital in terms of helping Africa in terms of giving us aid as Africans, supporting education programs, supporting health programs, let it be known that in 2023 alone, USA distributed a staggering 72 billion US dollars in aid worldwide. This money went into fighting poverty, improving healthcare, building infrastructure, and supporting education in developing nations. For instance, in Africa, USAID funded programs to combat HIV and AIDS, malaria, food insecurity. In South America, it has supported economic development and disaster relief. And in Asia, it has helped with climate resilience and educational initiatives. But that's not it. While USAID efforts has been praised by so many, critics have been arguing that the agency has been used as a tool for geopolitics, influence rather than pure humanitarian aid. Elon Musk, of course, and has been saying that the US aid problems are beyond repair, and he argues that the agency is inefficient and its funds are often misused. Trump, on the other hand, has praised Musk's push to cut government spending, calling him a good guy for taking a hard stance on these budgets. But the accusations don't even stop there. Critics have been arguing that some politicians and activists claim that the USAID has been used to advance US geopolitics interests by exerting control over smaller nations. They argue that the agency has coerced countries in Africa, South America, and Asia into aligning with US policies in exchange of aid. Additionally, there are allegations that some funds were misappropriated by corrupt officials or used to fund controversial programs like LGBTQ initiatives in countries where such efforts are culturally sensitive. So what happens now that USAID is shutting down? For starters, the immediate impact will be felt in developing countries that rely heavily on its aid, and programs addressing hunger, disease, poverty, and poverty could face significant setbacks. For instance, in Africa, where USAID has been key player in healthcare and food securities, the loss of funding could lead to increased suffering for billions. But some critics also continue to argue that the shutdown can be an opportunity for countries to become more self-reliant. In fact, some citizens in beneficiary countries have expressed mixed feelings. Like I've seen a couple of videos on TikTok saying that this shutting down of USAID will make African nations to be self-reliant. And I saw a certain video. I'd like us to watch that video first before I continue. Let us watch the video.
The other day crying, oh, I don't know, Trump has removed money. He said he's not giving us any more money. Watu wanalia. Why are you crying? It's not your government, it's not your country. He has no reason to give you anything. You don't pay taxes in America. He is appealing to his people. This is a wake-up call for you to say, okay, what are we going to do to help ourselves?
So this was the former president of Kenya, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, was talking about Africans and complaining that why is it that Trump is cutting off the funds and goes ahead and shutting down US aid. And he was saying that it is not their government, it is not their taxes. Why are they complaining? And when you take a closer look, there is some truth in it. You can't be complaining about a certain certain issue that is not done by your government. Africans don't pay taxes in America, but Americans pay taxes in America. So this means that whatever is being given to Africans as aid, it comes from American citizen taxes. So as some of these critics were arguing that this money comes from poor citizens of a rich country, but it does not go to the intended people. The aid that does not go to the intended people. Whereas that money, the aid, goes into the hands or the pockets of corrupt government officials. And beyond the immediate humanitarian impact, the shutdown of USAID signals a shift in global power dynamics as countries in Africa, South America, and Asia continue to grow economically. they are becoming less dependent on foreign, like for instance, countries in Asia like Japan, South Korea, you know, these are countries that are becoming self-reliant. So US aid relevance is already fading away. And additionally, the shadow raises question about America's role on the global stage. Is the US stepping back from its position as a world leader, or is this simply a move to prioritize domestic spending? I don't know. Whatever the case, one thing is clear. The world is changing, of course, and the way we think about aid and international relations is changing. So I don't know what you think about the shadow of USAID. Is it necessary step towards efficiency and self-reliance, or a dangerous move that could leave millions vulnerable? I don't know what's your take on that, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives in topics and matters like this. And I want to tell you that thank you for keeping on supporting me. If you are new to this channel, you know what to do. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you. Do the needful. Peace out.